All right, we're joined here by Homegrown tonight's match.
Uh, yeah, probably one of our worst home performances in a long time. Um, but we're in a decent spot in the league table and got to flush it and move on to next week.
Brainers for the Denver Post. Cole, I thought the first half was good on both sides of the ball. Just how much does that own goal kind of take the wind out of your sails and set a bad tone?
Yeah, it obviously doesn't help. Um, it sucks. We could have maybe defended that bit better, being down to 10 men at that point in time, and just see out the half. It's unlucky, the goals change games, but at the same time, I think we can start the second half better and not give up a goal so early in that one, and just respond a bit better. But just the whole game, we never took real control of it. And I think we've had trouble with that this year where, it's a lot of back and forth, or we've just been sitting in a low block defending. There's not been enough, rest on the ball and keeping it and pinning teams in and tiring them out. And we did a lot of that last year, and it kind of helped us. But right now, where it's a lot of transition and defending, and I think it takes a toll on you as a team because you get quite opened up, and you saw that tonight.
Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave. Cole on a lighter note. Adam Beaudry making his home debut. Your thoughts on his performance? Even I don't think any of the 3 goals were his fault, in my opinion. And then what he's done so far in a year and a half with the first team to get this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, Adam's for me the best young goalkeeper I've come across. It's crazy to think that he's a 2006, 18 years old, and just the level of skill and talent that he has is special, and I think people have taken notice of that. And we're pretty fortunate to have 2 national team keepers, and then you can kind of pick and choose who goes to camp in these moments. And obviously Zach's been really deserving with his form recently, so give a chance to Adam tonight. And I just wish that the guys in front of him, all 10 of us, could help him out a bit more, because yeah, as a goalie, you don't want to see 3 goals go in the back of your net when you can't do much about them.
You mentioned just kind of on both sides of halftime, just being a little bit better. This season so far, 4 goals given up in the 5 minutes before halftime. Is it an effort thing, an execution thing? What kind of needs to be better?
Yeah, maybe I think it's maybe a few of us leadership wise that could step in and kind of see out halves. I think if we were, like I said before, more on top of games and more in control, I think it would be a bit easier. Right now, it's kind of back and forth, and we're not really set in these moments right before half, and maybe we need to see him out a bit better. And we have good experience in that. We've done it for a while now, so I think it's a learning moment, and maybe a wake up call to for some of the leaders in the group to step up and make sure we get those moments right.
Aramis Loma, Mountain Time Sports Report. What can a team that's this young learn from a loss like this?
Uh, there's definitely a lot of things. I think for me, the biggest thing on the night is how exposed we got in transition and how many times we gave away the ball in sloppy moments. I think, myself especially, I haven't really taken control of games yet this year, and, kind of set the tone like I did last year. And I think that needs to be a point of emphasis going forward, is that I just go, make the team click, go get the ball, start setting up attacks for our team, and making sure we have the right tempo. Right now, it's just kind of all over the place. It's a little bit random, and I think we can learn from that. That when we're in these games where we don't know exactly what's going to happen and we're not in control of what's happening, teams can punish you like they did tonight.
Cole, we've seen this Portland team be a bit of a bogey team, at least recently. Obviously, the 2 bad road losses last year were able to get a win at home in league play. Is there something that they're doing? I know Anthony's got 4 goals and I think 4 games against you guys. Is there something about the way that Phil Neville coaches them or sets them up that's problematic for you all?
For me, they're the best team in transition, bar LAFC, in the league. We didn't do a very good job of winning our duels tonight, or second balls, and I think they won probably 90% of those. I don't know what the stats were, but I could guarantee you that Portland won almost every single duel or battle that there was, or we'd give a sloppy giveaway and then we wouldn't win the ball back. And now they've got good creative players with time and space going forward, and we know that that's their strength. Our coaches told us all week. We were prepared on it. We just didn't execute on it. Thank you guys.
All right.
All right, guys.
We are joined here by head coach Chris Armas. We'll go ahead and start off with his general thoughts on tonight's match.
Yeah, really disappointing to give up all the points, especially at home, in a game where it was really interesting. When you look at the whole thing, it probably comes down to certain moments, the decisive moments that they did better than us on the night. So give them credit, and we know in this league where the margins are so thin that if your good stuff doesn't show up on the night, that you could get punished. There's different ways you lose games, and tonight was one where we don't finish the half strong. It's a goal we give up 46th or 47th minute. 2 minutes after halftime, it's another one, and maybe it's history right there. But in the first half, you could see that we have so many little moments to that maybe could turn into chances, and then maybe could turn into goals, and we just weren't sharp enough in those little moments. But the guys put a lot into it in that first half. They really pushed the game. We're the aggressors. We felt like in control in so many ways, but in the end, the decisive moments went to Portland. They deserve those points, and I promise that we'll learn from it. We're a team that's constantly growing and evolving. We're going to learn from it. We'll take from it. We'll be really honest. And I bet if we look at the standings, I have not done it, we're probably close to the top of the West still. So that's something, some positive there. And also the fact that our fans, once again, they came out. And to see the team sticking around and like men signing autographs, taking pictures, honoring it, that's something to be noteworthy for our guys.
Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave. Chris, we saw Portland come out in their low block, and they're comfortable, particularly when they're chasing the game and they're up a goal. What did you want to see a little bit more of? You mentioned some of those little moments. I mean, was it being aggressive? Was it being direct? Was it certain phases of play?
No, our aggression caused a lot of turnovers, Matt. You know, our press was working, our high press was working, we were tight in the mid block, we were disrupting what they were trying to do. I think you can see that most of the game was played in one half, in the first half, and we were on top of things. So in those moments that we won the ball and caused turnovers, Josh Atencio, Ali Larraz, Cole Bassett, fullbacks were jumping. We caused a lot of disruption. That in those moments, if we could just, play fast without rushing. You know, these transition moments, staying on the ball a little longer. Maybe it's an extra touch. It's just calming down a little bit. It seemed a little bit, we were antsy. We want to reward the fans. We want to get the goal. We want it now. This was, it's always tricky in transition, but those moments can lead to chances, right? Then leads to goals. A couple of big moments. Kevin putting across the face of goal. Georgie putting across the face of Rafa, like Kevin almost there. We were close. So then we have an injury. Then we're down a man for the 2-minute rule, which is always, you almost get penalized, right? If there's a yellow card on the play, and I'm not saying it was, because I think Jair probably got a good look at it. So, but you are penalized for actually getting an injury there, which that's unfortunate for us that we, in that spell, they push us back and they get a goal. I think an own goal even. So just strange in those moments. We can probably handle a little bit better. But those are the moments, Matt, just to calm down in those moments where we're trying to go fast.
Mr. Loma, Mountain Time Sports Report. After the Dallas game, you said this team would mature throughout the season. How does a loss like this help mature the team?
Well, look, I think it's one thing we can take is how to maybe slow down in certain moments in transition. You know, like it's that it's some of it is transition, some of it is just that even in possession we're playing vertical, we're playing direct. This is our style of play, but just having a feel in moments when to slow down a little bit. What does the voice of the game? What is it telling you? Is it some are we hearing a voice of the game? What does this need right now? And sometimes it's just, hey, slow down a little bit. We've been going. Can we just now take a breather? I think that's something that we can learn from. And just listen. It's also the maturity comes from for all of us, the coaches and the players, were in on it together, that in 2025 we haven't lost, I think, one game, right, against LAFC. In all the games, and this is in Mexico, it's in Florida in preseason. So it's not always going to go that we're going to lose some games here and there. That's part of it, and that that we'll learn that there's different ways you can do it. And listen, but the way this team stepped on the field, we went after it tonight. The first half, in so many ways, was good. So you also learn that doesn't, playing good or being on top of games also doesn't get you anything. You got to earn it and be sharper and be better. So I think our group will know we can be better. It's an honest group. We get back to training. Again, this team doesn't get too high or low. We get right back to work.
Brain Nurse for the Denver Post. I thought Adam Beaudry was a lot better than the scoreline would suggest. Just what did you like from him tonight? Especially, I thought his distribution was really, really good.
His distribution was good. He helped build our attacks. He played more low risk football out of the back, but he could see was helping us make some chances and almost get the tempo going in our team, to bypass players, to create some second balls, to just be disruptive and put Portland in a faster game maybe than they wanted to be in. But listen, Adam is a top goalkeeper. I think he showed real quality tonight and key moments for himself. We didn't. The goals, there's not much you can do on those, I don't think, right? But he certainly made some big saves, came up big for us, kept us in it for a while, and his distribution was really good. So the belief in him only grows after nights like that, despite the scoreline, I promise you.
Chris, we saw last year once the team started clicking, you were playing in the 4-2-3-1, and the lineup and the phases of play were a little bit more predictable. This year, you've got three really good central midfielders. How much are you still iterating on what the team's doing tactically, or how much of what went on tonight is some new players and some new situations trying to figure things out and get clicking?
Well, listen, I think if you look at all the lineups this year, we've been pretty consistent, right? Keegan's been out there. Reggie's been out there. The center backs have been out there. I think it's this formation. We're repping it since the LAFC second leg, and we have consistency with players, and we have consistency with how we do things and principles of play. We have a reference point of how we do things. So I think if goals change games, up to that second goal, like we were able to move the ball, we were able to create some moments. We had a fair level of control in the match, better than previously against Portland in all the games. They can punish in transition. You can see how dangerous they are up the field. But no, there's continuity in the guys that we're putting out there, and bunch of guys that are able to get on the same page. So that was certainly not, for us, it's more moments tonight.
Coach, the team has another chance to put on a performance in front of a home crowd next weekend against Charlotte. What is the message to the team after a result like this to keep the intensity up, keep the mentality up heading into that game?
Yeah, the message after tonight is just a quick message about the game, and much of this things we just talked about, but we get right back to work, Sydney. We get right back to work. There's a day and a half off, let's say. We're in tomorrow a little bit. We have a process. We're excited for the next game here. Again, in MLS, in Premier League, Bundesliga, every team's going to lose some games, right? So it's just taking a quick step back. There's got to be, it's a pissed off locker room, right? We're all pissed off. We lost 3-0 at home. It hurts. None of us, myself as the leader of that locker room, to the players, we didn't bring our best stuff on the night. That's it. So we don't harp on it. We look hard, we learn, and we get right back to work on Tuesday morning with our eye on next weekend, because it's a big 3 points out there for us. Win that game, puts us in a good spot. But this is how it goes. This is part of the game. You put yourself out there, you're going to win, you're going to lose. And tonight it hurts, but that's part of it. It's part of growing. It's part of on our way to where we want to go. You gotta have nights like this. Okay.